Hello everybody, welcome back to another Slash League lesson with Laszlo. I want to grab the opportunity and say hello to our new subscribers. This is very encouraging to see the numbers rising. Hello there. Today's video I want to move on and focus on the right hand technique. If you were around last time we talked about the technique, there's more in regard to the left hand, none other than the legato technique, which is obviously Slash is one of his most important weapon in his arsenal, right? It just seems like he's always effortless, and no matter where he's at, he always has that like fluidity that we all would love to achieve. But with that said, it's not only about the left hand, you have to have really good right hand. And of course, Slash has this incredible, I think the best way to put it is really, he just serves the song. Like, he puts there what a song is in need of, right? Like, even when he plays the riffs, it's not only about when he plays the solo. Yes, we're all amazed. We all can relate to that. It's incredible. But even his riffs are just tight. It's just rock and roll. It's just all about the nasty right hand. So in today's video, I want to focus on the right hand, break down some skills, how you can improve your right hand technique. Stay with me, stay tuned, and let's find it out. Okay, so today we're gonna shine some light on what makes Slash's playing extremely extraordinary, if I can put it that way. In the previous video, we talked about one of his signature weapon in his arsenal, and that is the legato. I mean, don't get me wrong, it all goes with the style. What are you playing? There's lots of shredders who uses, heavy right hand and pick all notes. That's great too. But I think what Slash does is just very seamless and effortless, and just something cool about it, something immediately recognizable, and that is a huge word. Like, when somebody can, like, there's only a few guitar players, not only a few, but there's like not a tons of guitar players who has the ability to be recognized after it. Someone would hit 3 notes on the fretboard, and hey, that's Slash. Hey, that's Stevie Ray Vaughan. I think that's huge. But that has very little to do with the knowledge as far as music theory. I think that's something inner. But I think also it could be developed if you know what to develop. Stay with me today. I want to show you some tricks and stuff that you might find useful and you can implement into your guitar skills and get better at a certain approach. Alright, so let's go and check it out. We're talking about not a lead part, so when Slash actually does like a rhythmic type of stuff, if you pay close attention, you can see that he has a very, very loose right hand. It's not lazy, but it's very loose. So you can see a lot of, it's just like starting with losing out your right hand, okay? So just let it hang, right? Like, like you're just fucking cool and you don't care. Try this out. It's gonna give you a completely different sound, as opposed to if you would have like sometimes you see like heavy metal players, like their wrists is all like tied up and stuff. Forget about that. This is Slash style lesson. You gotta be loose and cool, right? example, okay? So work on that looseness of the right hand, very important. Okay, let's move on to another example. Welcome to the Jungle. Who would not know the song, right? So actually when the first verse comes in, okay, let's go a little bit back. First, when the song starts building up, Slash's lead right after this part. Okay, you're all familiar with that part, right? So as the song builds up and the drum comes in, first what he does a really powerful power chord approach, and it goes like this. And once the lyric starts coming in, he immediately goes into a little bit less aggressive, a little bit more laid back in a way kind of styling. He puts a really heavy palm muting, but he still goes on the same melodic, but putting a really hard palm muting on the right hand. So with that, achieving an effect that the focus from now on is more so on the lyrics than on the guitars. And I think that's a brilliant approach. And what he does when the lyrics comes in is something like this. Rock and roll, sometimes you get out of tune, but right back, okay. So he goes, instead of the power chords, what we did in the beginning, he switches to that old school one note at a time kind of riff, you know, that you can see a lot of times in Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith. I think those are the guys who ultimately started these, you know, one note riffs, and it sounds really cool. And if you take a look at the Welcome to the Jungle example, it goes something like this. Sounds cool. Alright, so let's move on to Use Your Illusion and the song called Double Talking Jive. We're still going to focus on the rhythmic part, what Slash does, and I just want to emphasize the part how important the proper right hand is in the Slashy approach. So what he does in that riff, same thing, very loose hand. If you pay attention how he plays it in live, you can see he's like really powerful but loose at the same time. So look. Okay, and pay attention to the parts. You see, it's kind of like an alternate pick. He goes in between letting the strings ring as much as they can and just hitting it powerful, but sometimes he puts in the damps, right? Like those palm muting notes, look. Did you hear that? There was palm muting right there. That's why it's so effective, because you're mixing it up. So it's not just like going all out, you know. You started powerful. But right there, the riff, that part right there, that's palm muted as much as you can, and that's how it's going to be so powerful, because you're like going back and forth, you know, you let it ring and then you're like palm muting it down. with here, okay? So when you play the riffs, and stuff like that, you're having the loose right hand, right? What we're talking about. Like it's particularly important is that you want to find a way where you can put your palm comfortably down on the bridge. So anytime when you desire a palm muted note, you have access to it, right? Because it's all about the dynamics. It's very important. So look how much excitement that generates once you're applying this tool on your playing, on your play style. So let me guys give you an example. Here I am. I'm not going to play anything with my palm muting technique. I'm just going to let it ring, okay? It's a great lick, but I think it was a little bit weedy, you know, like a little bit too much, I don't know, something. But if you apply the palm muting, you can give so much more excitement to the same lick. Look. Great example, right? And you can play the same stuff, but like sometimes here and there, just go by the feel and apply that heavy palm muting. Oh, what a gig, guys. Thank you for staying with me. Guys, we wrapped it up, all of my quick tips for you in today's lesson. If you find this was something that helps you, smash those like buttons, leave a comment. That helps me tremendously to set future videos directions. Subscribe, and until then, see you next time.